It's such a great day. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and Nyanto comes out today, which means it's also time for content creators to start lying to you again. Heyo YouTube, Flowcat here. It's time for another Let's Talk video. We're going to be talking about how content creators are constantly lying to you about their damage and the potential damage of like almost every single unit in the game. But before we get into the discussion, there's something I really want to show you guys. Well, that was pretty nutty, wasn't it? My Kazuha did like a crap ton of damage in that single rotation. I mean, that's just like game breaking, isn't it? Well, it's actually not. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to make a distinction between two different types of damage: practical damage and impractical damage. Now, I've seen this talked about in other games before, like other RPGs. But I think that it's especially important to talk about this with Genshin Impact. This is especially prevalent because every single time a new unit comes out, everyone wants to show that one unit doing like as much damage as physically possible. And so they'll build a team with like one VV Shredder and two attack buffers, usually like Kazuha, Benny, and Sarah. Or they'll show a team with like, you know, an archaic Petra user and a VV Shredder and an attack buffer, or they'll use Mona. And the entire point is to try to show you the biggest damage number possible so that they can slap that in their thumbnail and say, hey, my Kazuha does 50,000 damage per plunge. Now, what they fail to tell you is that that's like incredibly improbable and also ridiculously impractical. Like, to prove my point, let's just cut back to that clip and let me show you what happens for the next like minute or two after I do that huge damage with my Kazuha. And from looking at that footage, you can clearly see that like for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, my team does literally nothing because I need to be able to get their bursts back, and it takes a long time to just try to funnel up their bursts for that one big damage rotation. The long and short of it is that it's not practical. And if you want to do something like that in Abyss, it's pretty much just not going to work unless you can one-shot the entire floor. And this is where it gets really tricky, because when people start talking about units and start talking about their potential, sometimes they'll start including impractical damage numbers. So they'll say, well, I saw a Kazuha do 50,000 damage per plunge and 30,000 damage on the burst, and you know, they were doing like 20k per charge attack. Well, yeah, but you have to understand that like if you try to take that exact situation into the Abyss, you're going to fail. Rather than building a team that tries to focus all on buffing one single unit to do as much damage as possible at once, it's way better to build a team that can dish out consistent damage over the course of an entire rotation. And it's also important to make sure that your team has good rotations or clean rotation, because the team that I just showed you has horrible rotation. Sure, the first rotation is like pristine, it's wonderful, but after that, it's pretty much just waiting until everyone's bursts are back. And so I just really wanted to make this video today because I see lots of people get fooled by this. They think if I can't do what I see people doing in these videos, my unit must suck. Or they think that they should pull for a unit because they watch one of these videos and they think, oh my gosh, Kazuha doing that much damage and buffing damage and doing all this stuff, he must be a god tier unit. And I mean, yeah, he's a great unit, but he doesn't do damage like that all the time. All right, well, that's gonna pretty much bring us to the end of the video. Just wanted to help inform the Genshin community because I see this happen all the time in videos, and I am not quite sure that people are aware that these damage numbers aren't really representative of what a unit is capable of. Okay, Freddy. Anyway, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I have a wonderful friendly Discord, link in the description, would love to have you there. We have a theory crafting section, more than happy to help you with team building and help you get on the road to having successful teams that can conquer the abyss. And as always, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Peace, everybody.